Max Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pokemon. No, think about This Is the End sequel set in like a Mad Max theme where everybody's celebrities though.
Ooh.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Dang, it would be like Rick and Morty.
Yeesh. Have you guys seen Snowpiercer?
Yes.
Yes,
I have not.
Yeah.
You have not? Okay. But have you guys seen Firefly or Serenity?
I have not.
You have not seen either? Damn.
Serenity's a really good movie.
That's what I hear.
Firefly's a really good show.
Yeah.
It really is.
See, but that's kind of the mercenary deal too.
Well, I'm throwing out the unthought out idea of Snowpiercer, the sequel or prequel,
More snow.
where they actually involved with Serenity or Firefly, the crew there. So it's like an episode of Firefly where they come in and they find this planet that they have to get cargo from, but it's like desert wasteland because all of existence is dead on that planet.
Yeah. Except for a train.
Except for the people on the train.
Or
and
somebody
so they have
living
to
underground.
figure out how to get onto the train, how to not die, go through the different scenarios.
Oh, that'd be cool. Snowpiercer was actually pretty good too.
It was.
I like
It was really
Snowpiercer.
good.
It was a good movie.
A lot of
Dark
check it out.
tone to
Yeah.
A lot of people ragged on that.
Really?
He was a sleeper
Well, I mean,
hit.
it's Captain America, so I get that. Like,
So I remember how.
Did you know that's the reason why in the end credit sequence of the first Avengers movie, Captain America has his hand over his beard because he had a beard for that movie, and then he had to go back to shoot that last scene, and everyone's eating shawarma, but they put like this makeup on him to cover up the beard. But it looked really, really bad. So they just, Joss Whedon or whoever was like, just put your fist in front of it.
yeah.
For Snowpiercer,
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's why everybody
Tangent.
else is like sitting back eating and all that, and he's just sitting there like resting
Yeah.
on his.
I like Snowpiercer though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Snowpiercer
really good.
was really good too. Yeah, with the main Korean dude that they pick up in the middle of it, he was on Old Boy.
Yeah, he was the star of Old Boy. I forget his name. Isn't this the? Oh no.
A crazy movie too,
right?
Crazy fucking movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Not the Spike Lee joint, but the original.
Right.
Oh yeah, Old Boy. Yeah.
Sequel,
No.
prequel.
Yeah, no. I really like. I like that idea. I like the aliens.
I think
idea.
that idea, Mitch, you don't even have to tie it to any other franchise or anything. You could just make an original movie out of that.
Or just a sequel of Snowpiercer.
Or Firefly, like
Or Firefly.
Yeah, another adventure with
yeah.
them.
I know a lot of people, obviously want to see another
Oh, they love it.
Serenity. Is that
Yeah.
the movie?
Well, the Firefly is the TV show.
Right, but
Yeah.
Serenity, the movie, a lot of people wanted a sequel to that. I was reading a lot of that.
Is it?
And I've just never...
Well, they ended the TV because the TV series was going on at the same time as the last couple of seasons of Buffy, I think, something like that. And then Nathan Fillion actually was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
He was?
Yes, I remember he was a priest.
Nice.
Yeah, he was a pretty sadistic character. He was one of the main guys in it.
Yeah.
They kept him on Buffy because of how good Serenity was doing, but yet they canceled it. Fox, in their infinite wisdom, was
Yeah, they
like,
put it in the Friday night death spot, and then it got canceled.
they do a lot to very good shows like that. I don't understand.
They didn't originally start with Fringe there, but then they put Fringe there, and then that
was a great show.
They
though.
wrapped it
Fringe
up.
was fucking legit.
They wrapped that up though. I think they got the chance to wrap it up before it got.
Full House is the only show that could survive on Fridays.
Well, that was back in the good old days of TGIF. So
Yes, I know, right?
The Milkman, the Paperboy, evening TV. No, I think that's a good idea. The only thing that worries me that sucks is because I really like to get back on track.
Yeah.
The Alien franchise is like my favorite, and now Fox owns it or Disney owns it, and I don't know what they're gonna do with it. The thing I heard is they're gonna make like a live action TV show, but that was a rumor.
Yeah.
I heard that I thought there was a Covenant 2 that was in development.
But now then
that
Disney bought
changed.
Fox,
Yeah.
so
Well,
thanks
maybe.
Disney.
Well, you don't know what they'll do with it though. Maybe
I don't.
They'll, yeah. Maybe they'll just be like, we're going to let this kind of run its own thing, you know, that style of movie, which would be cool. That'd be the way they should do it.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't do something like exclusive to the Disney Plus app, Alien the Animated Series. Or some bullshit like that.
But it's like a kooky little baby alien and a fucking big alien that bumbles and shit like that. And they can't fly and they always end up on the wrong planet.
I'm Xenomorph Mike.
And he's like,
Xenomorph.
hello, everybody. But his mouth's got another voice.
Yeah.
It's like, like it says his own shit.
It'll be a buddy alien movie.
Oh.
Let's get those Space Marines.
Winona Ryder's character will actually be their friend.
Yeah.
Travel with them.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm
Oh,
Paul.
like Beetlejuice.
Yeah. She lives with all the aliens. They're like, oh, come on, guys.
No. Please, no. I do know that originally Ridley Scott was thinking of doing another sequel, but I don't know what's it up to now. So
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
It's like what? So far, there's 6 movies altogether for the Alien franchise.
5, 6, yeah.
Yep, not including the shitty fucking Alien versus Predators. Even though Lance Henriksen is a badass in everything that he does,
Dude, yeah,
he was in the first one.
I love when he gets torn in half.
Absolutely.
In Aliens, you know, when,
Yeah.
when the fucking queen rips. And you know they use that score, that dun 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 by James Horner, I believe. They use that in trailers like all the time since the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that was one of the most
Armageddon. You know, like end of days. Dun 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 dun. Eraser. Okay, but yeah, we can move on now. I like the Alien franchise, and that would be something I would like to see that would tie, you know, prequel and sequel type deal.
Right
tie
on.
everything
Cool.
together, old, past, and forward.
Cool.
All right, Dan.
Well, my did not take that much connective tissue. So there's a little movie about a guy named Jack Burton.
Oh boy.
Oh.
And as that movie ends, after all the hijinks and supernatural shenanigans that happened, we see Jack Burton leaving town, crossing the highway in the night, talking on his CB, and there's a creature on the back of his truck, but he doesn't know it. And that's where it kind of ends, right? Well, this picks back up just an hour later. And old Jack Burton's about to say something real cool about old Jack Burton saying something. And all of a sudden the CB starts going a little honky. Starts like electrical and things are happening. It's not working right.
That sound effect sounded exactly like it would have been in the movie.
Yeah, right. In a 1980s movie, yeah.
Honestly.
So that goes all wonky. And so he's driving and he's freaking out because that's his outlet, right? That's what he does to get across the US on his 18-wheeler.
Because he's
The Pork Chop Express.
Pork Chop Express, hauling pigs.
That's right. So he's rifling through his glove box and he finds a receipt. And he's bitching about how he's, not had the CB very long and all that. And the receipt is to S-Mart.
Ooh.
So
Smart.
shop S-Mart.
Shop S-Mart.
So he goes to the next town and finds an S-Mart and brings in his. So here's where I'm gonna need a little help because I've thought about doing this 2 different ways. As he's coming into this town, he passes through like almost a mist of sorts, right? So my first thought, either way, I guess he goes into the S-Mart and the person helping him is Ash from The Evil Dead.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's 2 different ways I thought of this, is that he actually has a Kmart receipt. And he goes in and like Ash is being like a dick to him. He's like, no, it's obviously a K. This is S-Mart. And he's like, what the fuck's an S-Mart? You know what I mean? And like they banter and kind of antagonize each other, you know?
Yeah.
He just sees Mart.
Right. And it's like close to closing time. It's middle of the night, so he gets his CB either way, whether he had to buy one or if but either way, even if it is an S-Mart receipt, Ash is a total dick. He's like, that's not company policy, blah, 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 blah.
He's booking for management at this point.
Yeah. So they both kind of, they exit about the same time because obviously it's S-Mart, they're like closing and they finish him up. As they come out, there's the creature that was on the back of the Pork Chop Express. And right away, of course, Ash is like, what the fuck? And pulls out his boomstick and whatever, you know what I mean? And they're fighting it off. And in the process of all this, the Buick, which you see sitting over on the side in the parking lot, gets damaged.
No, not the Buick.
Yeah. Well, it's been damaged before.
The Delta.
Yeah. So it can't run, but they defeat the creature,
Uncle Ben's car.
But Jack Burton and Ash defeat the creature. But now,
what do you think it looks like?
It's the creature from the end of
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
It's like,
So we finally have a use for that fucking creature.
There you go.
yeah.
But in the process, like during the battle, not only did the Buick get damaged, but also the CB that he just bought is fucking destroyed. And Jack Burton's fucking freaking out now. He's like, I just want my damn CB. Well, Ash can't get home from S-Mart, and it's against policy to go in once the door's closed. You know what I mean? So he gets a ride to his cabin in the woods from the Pork Chop Express and says, hey, man, I think there's a CB at my cabin. I'll get you one. So the whole time, as all this wackiness, obviously the Necronomicon's there, bad things start happening. I'm not going to get too far into those weeds. But the whole time, Jack Burton just wants his fucking CB to work. Yeah. That's his whole thing.
Yeah, he just wants the CB.
He's only like trapped in this because he still needs a C. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So my thought is that at the end of whatever whirlwind happens because of the Necronomicon and all this, that if I did it where he had the Kmart receipt, like he's like, this is like not, it's obviously not his world. You know what I mean? It's just a little off.
Yeah.
And like Ash maybe makes, maybe you should try to go back the way you came in. And then he goes through the mist and he's back on the road and it's like the same night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all this takes place over one night.
That would be cool.
Yeah. No, I could see him like going through the mist, but then he's in a different part of the country. He doesn't even realize it.
He doesn't even recognize it. He doesn't realize it, but he doesn't recognize it either. You know what I mean? It's not like...
But he just sees the S-Mart and he's like, oh, well, I'm going to stop here because they work on stuff. And then there would have to be other people there at the time too.
Well, it's late night, so maybe not just the other workers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
It would have to be. Well, I'm sure he's the key holder.
Yeah.
If you're Ash, you're probably at least key holder, if not supervisor.
Yeah. I mean, he could get back in there if he wanted to.
But he can't because it's against policy.
He sets the alarm and everything like that whenever, Burton's outside in his truck. Or
he's walking out and doing something, you know what I mean?
I'm walking here.
Yeah, and Ash sets
fucking
the alarm.
around.
Yeah, and then that's whenever that beast comes out of nowhere.
Exactly.
And they're just like, oh, shit. And then, of course, Ash pulls out the boomstick.
Right. Yeah. If the car gets damaged and Ash wants to get him a CB radio from his cabin, maybe Jack has to save Ash in that battle somehow.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure they help each other. I think that's what would happen. It would be more like
resistant at first, and then they work.
They're like kind of fucking off with each other at first. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I just had an idea that
antagonistic, I guess, a little bit.
Ash in his pocket has the Necronomicon for Dummies. He calls it. Right? He literally has written down all the passages, and he's just trying to learn them because he's trying to get back to his original to save his girlfriend.
Right. Linda.
Linda.
Linda, listen.
And so literally he has all this stuff written down, and it could be a running joke that he has a Necronomicon for Dummies in his pocket.
Nice.
And then he says an incantation on his break at work, and that's how he literally like gets Burton to be there.
Oh yeah, he'll say Klaatu Verata.
Yeah,
and that's how he gets like the mist rolls in front of
so it happens like right before, and then you only see that later on because that's how they tie into the portal.
In the break room, he's like eating a sandwich.
And he's just looking through his little fucking book. And he's just like, I wonder what this one does.
I would want not to introduce his character until you see the Pork Chop Express rolling into S-Mart.
But you find out.
And then you'll find, you start picking up those
little
things.
Later.
Yeah, you find out that he was actually there, and that's why he wants to go back to the cabin.
He's like thinking back like, oh.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you go back through the way you came? And he's like, oh, okay. And then it cuts to showing him how it got there in the first place.
They don't put two and two together until they get there and something's off to Jack, where Jack looks at it and he's like, wait a minute, where the fuck am I?
Somebody's got like Jim Daniels whiskey or something, whatever.
Like, why is everything so fucking off around
everything's
here?
Just off by just a little bit.
He's like, what do you mean off? And they could have that banter for it, but they're in the cabin, and then he's like, oh, well, I took over this place after such and such died, or it's another cabin that looks like it.
My whole budget for this is that you're de-aging both of the main characters. I don't care about anything else. We can do the rest of it Sam Raimi style. For the first movie. I don't even give a fuck.
But Kurt Russell.
I want Kurt Russell and Bruce Campbell to play those characters. And it
or
would
maybe
be
they are
amazing.
Older.
No, fuck this. It takes place that day after he gets his fucking money back,
man,
from whatever.
They already de-aged Kurt Russell before, remember?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So,
oh god.
It works. If Scorsese's doing it, it must be cool, right?
Well, this would be the only reason I would do it, because I'd want it to take place in both of their primes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like the Ash TV show. Yeah, it was afterwards, which was a pretty good show.
It was okay. I watched a few episodes of it, but I want it to take place like right after Army of Darkness.
Ooh, yeah.
And right after Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep.